Hello everybody, welcome back to Q-Zone. So we're going to be playing the DM levels, which are supposedly enhanced for single player. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Let's go. That's... They really tried. They really tried. Anyway, whoa, hi. Oh, this is... I can already tell you this would be pretty nasty for deathmatch. That's actually adorable. Do they count as kills? Yeah, they do. Alright, so this is called Hijack. Yeah, I guess this isn't the worst, but trying to navigate through this would just suck. Alright. Well, what's over... I was really expecting that to be a door or something. Overall, though, I mean, actually some pretty cool Quake cute. Cute? I don't know. Not a whole lot in the way of monsters, obviously. Probably because there's no way in hell they're going to be able to get the pathing working very well in this. I'm guessing the last dude's up here. Yeah, this seems safe. Just, I don't know, just flinging around grenades on an aircraft. That seems like a great idea. Ranger, you are brilliant. Alright, so upper level pilot thing. I don't know, it seems okay. Like in terms of overall design, honestly pretty cool. You know, it kind of gives me this is kind of giving me flashbacks to the one what is it called? Mile High Club in Call of Duty 4. Modern Warfare. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think it would work very well as a deathmatch level, that's the thing. Alright, so that does what now? I'm guessing that lets me exit. Okay. Not too shabby. One thing that is worth noting, unlike with Doom, you can set, like, frag limits. Well, okay, you can set frag limits and time limits in Doom. But if I remember correctly, you can set it up in Quake so that trying to exit before that will jib you. So, one thing to keep in mind, I guess. Pretty sure. I guess we'll just keep our weapons. So this is why's my health at 50? Oh yeah, that's right, I was flinging around grenades with reckless abandon. So this is Skyreach. There are definitely things in the sky. A lot of places where people could just kind of casually hide out. I guess that's probably... I hope that's not the exit. That seems like a pretty odd place to put it. There's definitely other things. So I imagine... you know, that thing in the middle, you probably just use that to go up there, right? I mean, that's kind of what I'm guessing. I could be wrong. But I'm kind of leaning towards probably not in this case. Yeah, I think this one would actually be kind of obnoxious because, just because of the way the lighting's set up, there's just a lot of places where the players just wouldn't be able to see each other. And that could be good in some aspects, but when that comprises like a majority of the level, it just really brings the action to a screeching halt. I don't know, like ambush corridors, that's one thing, but 90% of the level being like that, that's kind of different. It's down, oh, just this. Stuff like that just reminds me of Slide. If anyone's ever played that. At some point I should do a mod showcase on that. That one was really fun. Alright, is that... Okay, I was kind of right. Of course, Quake's limited air control make that a bit tricky, but I'll stop turning around. Finally in an engine where I can actually lead my targets. It's so weird. Alright, let's jump down to this. Ah, balls. How dare you? Oh, hi there. I don't know, with Quake's air control, I don't know. I kind of wonder if that's maybe, if that was intended. I don't know. Because there's also something on the top of that. Let's try to go up to it again. Why not? Maybe I need to have a little bit more forward momentum. Not really what I meant to do, but okay. Now, can I rocket jump up there? I can, but there's not a whole lot of reason to do that. I mean, there are these little drop-offs here, and then this part's just... Ew. I mean, you couldn't have put sky up here or something? Come on. That's just weird. Exit? Yeah, there we go. I mean, I guess that makes a little bit of sense, because you have to be very intentional about going into the exit on this one. Alright. Mining. DM3. No, with the way that they were kind of advertising this, I was sort of expecting it to be maybe a little more challenging than the other ones. Okay, I mean, that's, I guess, kind of a choke point, but that's not really how you do it. Oh. Rodfish, of course. There you are. Yeah, and this whole thing's probably not compiled for translucent water, so... Although, it doesn't necessarily have to be. There we go. Let's see. R water alpha. Just gonna have to trust them typing this. Oh no, it actually might be. Oh no, it's not. So you can see the I can see the whatever you call them, the enemies, but not that. But you can also do R no. Okay, Ironwail actually puts a thing. Map does not appear to be water vizzed, but I can do no viz, which basically makes it so that my computer processes the entire map all at once. Not really a big deal for modern things. God, I really wish I would have used my 16:9 aspect ratio, because you could have actually seen the console commands, but oh well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set it back, because this wasn't really meant to be displayed like this. There we go. But yeah, that was something that, something you could do to just kind of add water viz to maps that don't support it, and modern systems should not really have a problem with that. Okay, this is really dark. Okay, there we go. It's not that exit, is it? It is, okay. Well, we're missing the one kill because of the rotfish counting bug, but yeah, it happens. It happens. Old school stuff. I don't know if there was actually an official progs.dat 1.06 source released. I don't remember. But either way, I know people have fixed it, and there's a lot of information on how to fix it. Come to Papa. Room 11 or 2. Yeah, I think those are eyes. So yay Roman numerals. I learned about them there things. But yeah, anywho. It's one of those situations where rnoviz would have probably been a pretty nasty command for older PCs. I think classic GL Quake supported it. Oh, stop doing that. Ugh. Why did they change the auto switch? I don't know. I don't understand. But yeah, it would have been pretty nasty on like Pentiums, Pentium 2s, stuff like that. Modern maps, it'd be probably pretty nasty with those too, even on newer PCs. However, all the modern like Viz solutions. Oh, I was expecting that to bring me up top. All right, well we're not gonna tolerate that. But yeah, modern Viz solutions are all do water alpha anyway. It is worth noting that if you do that, it's not going to affect the enemy AI. Like, they're not going to be able to see you outside of the water volume. I'm pretty sure they can do that if it's been water viz properly. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically the reason why you have to have maps specifically set up for that, is because normally it would consider the water to be a blocking volume. Just, you know, more optimizations. Because normally you couldn't see underwater. God, so many modern things. It's kind of amazing, even when the game was fully in id's hands, how many little enhancements it ended up getting, like Quake World being probably one of the biggest ones. If you're not familiar with that, the original, yeah, there's definitely stuff up there. I think you are actually meant to rocket jump, but yeah, the original Quake netcode did not use, like, client-server prediction and stuff like that. So Quake World made it a lot more playable in internet games. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think you were actually... I remember questioning whether or not the intent was to use explosion jumps. I'm kind of thinking it is. So, I guess the community figured those out pretty damn early. I admit that was a half-decent grenade rocket jump. Anyway, there we go. So, next one. Kelping. I don't like that I'm starting this close to an ogre. They're pretty smelly. Ugh. Ugh. I, again, don't know why they changed. A commenter did confirm that that weapon switch behavior was changed by the people who made Q-Zone for some reason. I believe her name's Dusonic. Yeah, that just seems like a very bizarre change to make. I don't know. Alright, more rodfish bugs. Ahoy. Give health. Thank you. Oh, still more of them alive. Something. There's something alive in here. Okay, there you are. Found you. 6 out of 11. Guessing there's probably more dudes down here. Yep. Dudes of the fiendish variety. Oh my god. I think Doom brain poison again. Me not leading my target because normally it just... Well, in that game it just doesn't matter. Oh, that was weird. It like, wasn't drawing any of the blood particles. I don't know. Maybe it was because the side beams were hitting him? I don't know. Wasn't exactly being super careful with my aiming. Alright, 8 out of 11. This map is pretty dire. Okay. Ah! Okay, gonna admit, was not expecting that. Does that stay like that, or... Nope. So I have a quick save button. I mean, it's not really much of a point in it. Oh, that is off. Look at that. It's like wedge-shaped. Why? It's like one of those things where it's so subtle, but... Oh, man. Like, the person didn't intend to do that, did they? Oh, well, whatever. What about these? I gotta say, though, at least they're pretty consistent on what a button is. Even if it's non-traditional. Oh, what? What is... Okay, that goes up, I guess? There's something up there. Oh. They just have really weird exit triggers. I really hope those exit triggers aren't in multiplayer. Oh, that is loud. That is loud. Grid 10. And, it's kind of exemplifying what Shades was referring to with, the map editor they were using being set up in grids with a grid size of 10. So none of these textures just align right. Ugh. Man, this is just such a bizarre thing. So like I said, on one hand, you know, kudos to the Wizard Works, I guess, for actually commissioning maps for this. Like, even if not all of them are original, as we found out, because some people mentioned that there were like some maps from Perdition's Gate and stuff that were just basically changed into Quake maps, and interestingly enough, they were some of the better ones in this collection. But, I mean, more effort was put into this than their other endeavors. I mean, kinda. This is a pretty basic map, overall. I don't think it would be the worst to deathmatch in. I don't think it would be particularly great. I mean, there's that bit of verticality. Okay, where am I now? Underneath the side things. It's just, everything kind of looks just the same. Just kind of wondering where the surprise exit is going to be. Well, I think I found it. Let's just kind of walk in. Yeah, there we go. There was something up top. So I was kind of thinking, it's like I probably could rocket jump up there. Assuming there's no direct path, but whatever. Oh, this marble texture. For whatever reason, when I was a kid, doing like stupid little maps in like Worldcraft and such, I just kind of had a thing for this texture. I just really like the way lighting kind of meshed with it, which makes it all the more disappointing that this map is not very well lit, I guess. It's basically what I would do. I mean, I didn't have the patience to wait for a 486 to run a full map cycle. I would more or less make a... Well, I was thinking explosion box jumping, but that's pointless and damaging. But yeah, I would basically make a map that was more or less just a box. Oh my gosh, there's going to be rodfish. Oh, that's surprising. But it was a box with just various shapes in it, and I would just move lights around just to see how the lighting would change and all that other good stuff. I don't know, I had fun with it. Yeah, it was one of those tasks that was designed for a multi-core workstation, or not multi-core, but multi-CPU workstation at id, and even then it took a while. So you can imagine what it would be like on a consumer PC at the time. Yeah, not pleasant. I never built a map that was complex enough for it to take very long, but I remember one time just downloading a map file, and it just took hours, and it was a fairly simple map. I think it was a Quake Rally map, actually. Yeah, I think it was... Yeah, you know what? It's kind of coming back to me. It was like a... It was like a Quake Rally development map. Is that it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, anyway, I'll get to commentary in a moment. I gotta do my anecdotes, man. But, yeah, it was like one of the ones that were scrapped at some point during development, or canceled when development ceased. But it was only distributed as a map, not as a compiled BSP. So, yeah, that was not very fun. Anywho, so this map, I don't know. It seems a bit linear to be a deathmatch level. Overly so. I think you can have a little bit of linearity, like especially when it comes to grabbing like rocket launchers, any sort of big ass weapon. But no, this feels like it was a single player map that was converted into a deathmatch map, which is an interesting reversal. Not particularly interesting, but you know. The one section with the yellow armor, I kind of regret not going back to that. Ah, screw it, it took like 2 minutes. Let's just do this again. Alright, there we go. It is somewhat cathartic, even if it is very, very simple. Alright. Jibulations. Yeah, right up there. Looks like a teleporter. Not sure where the teleporter would come from. Maybe up here, somehow. No, that's a quad damage that I didn't notice. Yeah, see, like, sections like this would be a decent room, I think. Because, like, you got one of those, like, this is almost a trap in a way. So if you're in this general area and you hear this elevator, you know someone's going for the quad, and you know you got to frag their ass. But it's like, the author designed a few rooms, maybe not this one, this feels too much like a starting room. But they've designed a few rooms that actually, I think, would work. And then you got stuff like that with the yellow armor, where you basically puts you into a cage where you can take a lot of explosion damage. Is that up there? Can't tell what that is. Grenade launcher, I think. Maybe a super nail gun. Oh. It's just over here? Oh no, this is just the path forward. Okay. Odd place for a rocket launcher. How would you get to that? I wonder. Whoops. Meant to do that. Okay. That's not really marked in any significant way, but I guess that's fine. Alright, so yeah, this really kind of gives you an area where you can't effectively shoot down, but you can be shot at. So you better haul ass. But that's the thing. That's what's kind of frustrating about this, is because then, the second you go down here and start swinging over to this direction, then it just becomes like a completely different map. And it just doesn't really work, I don't think. Just maybe switch away from that weapon before I blow myself up. Because, you know, Quake. Yeah, it's like you just go over here and then you have an absolute metric crap load of room. Ah, balls. Get up. Get up. He got up. Anywho. Yeah, this just doesn't... You kind of lose all those other things, like the sound cues and, you know, fairly tight environments. I guess this wouldn't be bad as just like a pure rocket arena. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been better if the author would have expanded on the previous section rather than moving on to that one. Anywho. Alright. The 8-sided die. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to see the danger here. Is this another aspect of DM naps that actually work out fairly... Whoa, why? I was going to say the danger aspect, but kind of... Although, admittedly, I'm not entirely sure how you would get that mega health with all this in mind. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this has aspects of it that I like, such as the, you know, explosive weapons in a tight, fairly tight passageway. But, yeah, I don't know. I was expecting there to be a little bit, a little more danger associated with that, I guess. Yeah, this is a weird one, Mr. Grinch. Also, these stairs are just... Yeah, should have used a detail brush on those. Not detail brush. Shoot, I'm actually starting to try to learn some of this stuff. The one that... oh my gosh. Which one is it? Okay, clearly I need to... I need to do my... improve my trench broom foo a little bit. It's the one that makes it so that you could... You don't have to, like... Oh my gosh. Like, you could put the brush over this and it would just act like a smooth ramp. Or something like that. Well, whatever. Is that the exit portal up there? Like... Well, of course that wouldn't work, because you put wind tunnels everywhere. Is it funk wind? I don't... Whatever. I might be able to do it from here. kinda. I mean, I'm assuming there's... What the hell? Okay. Just... Why not, I guess? I didn't really see an exit teleporter. So I'm kind of assuming that's it, but... I know I didn't get quite high enough to go into the brush. But then again, if I go into the brush, that's lava. Because in Quake... Yeah, in Quake, the liquid properties are determined by the actual name of the brush, which is pretty jank, but, you know, whatever. What the... Huh. I don't know why that one rocket jump did basically nothing, but I don't know. Weird physics nonsense. Shoot, so... Alright, well... Use our buddy No-Clip. Yep, that is indeed nothing but a damaging volume. I don't know. I'm starting to think there might not be an exit to this one. Which might mean... Wait. What was that? Are you for real? Wait. I want to mess this up. Okay. It was a little block in the corner of one of these hallways. What in the hell was that? Oh, piss off. Hey, did you know that if you hit one of those little lava things, you take damage? Because you do. It's over here. It kind of seems to me like it was outside of the level, maybe. Because I'm pretty sure I did a loop-de-loo already. Oh no, it's up there. You know, where it's easy to get to. Alright, whatever. We made it. And that's it. That's Q-Zone DM. I gotta say, most of those maps would not work very well as deathmatch levels, in my humble opinion. Like, not at all. But hey, we managed to get through it. Some of those maps were, well, okay, like one of the maps were kind of Quake cute. Some of them had some okay ideas, but most of them just... It was just kind of more of the same. Like, that was definitely the worst of it. The whole adding monsters for single-player usage was a bit more of a token gesture, because it didn't really amount to very much. So, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of is. And it's not very good. But, yeah, what you gonna do? I mean, it's Q-Zone. We weren't expecting a whole lot. And really, I would say that this has been, on a whole, a lot less interesting than D-Zone. And I think part of that is because D-Zone kind of took genuine levels from the community. Like, it didn't try to make its own stuff that was kind of, you know, maybe half-baked, if that. I don't know, it took earnest efforts of the community, and it was very much a snapshot of the time. This just feels like it was fully intended to be just, you know, kind of a cash grab. Like, Quake was the popular game. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that D-Zone isn't a cash grab, because it absolutely is. But this one just... I don't know, maybe it feels a little bit more blatant. Because it's like, not only did they just... You know, not only do you not get that whole community aspect to it, but you also get maps that are just kind of lowest common denominator. And they don't have, like, the interesting bad, for the most part, or the interesting good. It's just, they kind of just exist. The weapon mods, I mean, the less said about those, the better. Although this thing's kind of just weirdly entertaining. It does remind me somewhat of, like, the QC mods that were out at the time, but those were generally better quality overall, for the most part. It's just so middling. I have a hard time even coming up with things to say about it. That's... I think one of the issues... I mean, it was okay. It didn't reach the lows, but it definitely didn't reach the highs, and... Oops. Oh, screwed that up. And I think really that's the bottom line. It just kind of is. And yeah, I don't know. It just seems like kind of maybe a missed opportunity. Yeah, like I think I would have preferred them to, like, if they really wanted to sort of show that they cared, I think they would have made more of an effort to like recruit the people who were in the community at the time making maps and mods. It doesn't seem like they did that. It just seems like they went for whatever was cheap. Yeah, I don't know. And this is pretty much the point where I'm sort of going around in circles, so I'm just... Oh, that was a weird-ass door. So I'm just gonna kind of, I guess, stop there before I end up dying to something stupid. So, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. And, before the Shambler kills me. The Nightmare Shambler, who does a lot more damage. Yeah. I'm gonna wrap this up and say thank you very much for watching, and, yeah, I hope you enjoy the palate cleanser the royal we have planned for next week. And, yeah, cheers for watching. Take it easy.